Rated HTR, we're going to talk about your work on the easy listening Aeolian collaboration. We're in the key of D minor, and the first time that I listened to your lead, I thought something was a little bit off. I thought it sounded a little bit awkward, to be honest. But the more I listened to it, the more appealing your lead was, and I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was that was so appealing to me. And after listening to your take several times, I found out that it was a combination of several things, and we're going to listen as I talk about what you did here. One of the elements that you did that was really appealing to me was actually the tone that you picked. It's kind of twangy, you know, it's got a twang to it, kind of like old vintage guitar sounds, lots of reverbs, and it's off. It's a little bit off, but because it's off, it adds something quite special to the track, and that is what is appealing to me. It's weird, but I really like it. Also, some of the notes that you picked here would not have been my first choice. All the notes that you played are in the scale, but you're landing on some notes that are a little bit off, a little bit awkward, and but it works once again. It just creates something unique and interesting, and it really differentiates what you did from all the other participants in a good way. Another thing that you did is the phrasing that you're using. It's very slow kind of phrasing. The backing track in itself is already at a slow speed, and you playing slow on that almost has the effect of dragging the backing track. It's making it even slower, so it's like, you know, very melancholic, very slow, but it's really cool. I really like what you did here. Now, I would keep that unconventional way of phrasing, whether it was something conscious that you did or not. It works, but I would add some elements, a little bit more of a classical way of thinking, and this is my suggestion to you. And once again, don't completely deny what you did, because it's great, but maybe mix some of the elements that I'm going to share with you with what you chose to do on this improvisation. So here's my suggestion to you. We know that we're in the key of D minor, D natural minor, D Aeolian. We're going to look at the notes that make a 4-note chord on here. So we're in D minor. The first note is D, that's our root. And then the second note of our chord, we're going to skip a note to the third. That's going to be a minor third, that's going to be F. Next note in the chord is going to be the fifth. We're always skipping a note, you know, root, third, fifth, seventh, and then if we want to add another one, we'll go to the ninth, but we're not going to go there. So right now we've got the root D, minor third F, the fifth is going to be A, and the seventh is a minor seventh, and that's going to be a C note. So these are the 4 notes of the chord. I would take each one of these notes individually. Let's start with, randomly, let's start with the seventh. The minor seventh, and depending on which type of scale you're using, you might choose to use a 3-note per string kind of approach, which is fine. Whichever scale position you're comfortable with. But if we decided to go with the seventh, the minor seventh, that C note. Well, as I'm phrasing, and I'm going to demonstrate that, that C note is going to be your landing note. You want to land on that note. So whatever licks you do, no matter how long, you're going to try to land on that minor seventh. And that should create something melodic. Let's give it a try. And you don't need to go crazy on that. You can just, very short licks or long runs, doesn't matter, as long as you finish on that note. And all the notes in between are in tempo and in that scale. So let's give that a try. We're going to land on that seventh right here. For example, let's try something else. That works. And then once you have a collection of licks that you kind of like, move on to another note of the scale. For example, we can pick that minor third, and we have one, who said the minor third was F, we have an F right here. We're going to try to land on that. For example, that works. Or maybe For example, but just pick one of these 4 notes of the scale and try to land on it. And that, with the combination of what you have done, your kind of phrasing, would create something really cool, I think. And the mix of both elements will really help your phrasing. So, great job. I really like the ideas that you put on there. I recommend that you apply what I did here. Just pick one scale position and then maybe move on to another one, just to kind of expand your phrasing. And once you're comfortable with the 4 notes of the chord, root, 3rd, 5th, and 7th, try some embellishments, maybe the 9th, land on the 9th, or the 13th, or whatever. But just try to focus on landing on one of the notes of the scale, and that's going to help you out. Great job. Looking forward to hearing more from you. Keep up the great work.